Okay, welcome to a nice fun game of chess. We've got double nemesis. I'm a nemesis here. And I'm always going to start out with getting my queen out as fast as possible. Now, my opponent is doing the same. I'm going to push my queen out right about there. That looks nice and fine to me. Good. And I'm just going to increase the speed a tiny bit. And the queen does the same. I mean. Okay. So what I want to do now is I'm just looking for the next best move because facing Nemesis as Nemesis seems tough. I'm going to get my H file open so he can't bring his rook into play in the same way that I just did. And I'm also going to see what else I can possibly do. Let's get up to 2 times speed because one thing you'll notice is that this guy takes a long time to think about his moves. I don't really. Okay. So he moves his knight out, and to respond to that, I'm looking around. I think I'm going to push my knight out too. Happens to be a pretty nice move. Develop. It's all about developing. Okay, he's now doing the same rook file on that I did, and I'm going to move my knight up. Why am I doing that? Well, I want to threaten his f7 pawn, and I think it might be worth the trade material if I could get his king on the run. Is that wise in the least? I don't know at this moment. But at the same token, the knight is safe because, of course, the queen cannot take it. So yeah, I'm going to go for that trade because he's trying to push out. He's opening up his pawns, so give me openings. I'm going to bid 1, and I'm going to match. So then he takes it with the king. But what am I going to do here? Instead of putting him immediately in check, I'm going to look for a discovered check. I'm pinning that knight. I think that might be the best thing to do here. Okay, that's his move. So I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. I'll pause it as needed. Alright, so he's moving up his knight. I move up mine. Again, this is a little bit of developing, but what I really want to do is I want to get my bishop out. I want to get my bishop out and threaten that pawn on e6. Now, he moves his knight here, and I can see that this is not too good because he wants to fork me, so I'm going to move my king over. But then he's going to get a little bit fancy here because, you know, the name of the game is chess and you want to checkmate. So he moves his queen there. So I have to prevent him from mating me, so I'm going to do my little sidestep with the pawn. So I've prevented that. Now if the knight takes either of those pawns, I can take him either way, either with the bishop or the king. Alright. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now he's moving out his other knight because he's really trying to put the pressure on the king. Now I can see he's going to fork my king and or threaten checkmate. So I got to put him in check, get him on the run. I'm going to put him in check again, get him on the run, and then I'm going to do one more. But now I'm lined up to block that fatal maneuver down there. Yeah. So instead of putting him in check again, I just want to go ahead and block that knight. And then I want to kick that knight away. I don't want him anywhere near there. So he just moves his king. He's going to try and go across the line for victory. I can't let him do that. So first I want to put pressure on that knight. I know it seems kind of counterintuitive. He can just move his king up, which I believe he does. Oh no, he doesn't. He actually does move the knight. So gives me a little bit of breathing room. I'm pushing up my pawn over there. Why, Jake? Why'd you do that? Well, I really want to create an area where he can't get past. So right now I've blocked that. If he takes it with the knight, I can just move my pawn up to secure it. He pushes this pawn, which was a little confusing to me. But anyway, I pushed up against it, and now he can't get there immediately. But what I need to do is I got to put pressure on that king. Right now, c5 is what I'm looking at. I think that's the sweet spot. I want to get my queen over there. I no longer have to fear that knight. Okay, so he does block it off. So I still should go over here. Okay. Knight can still come down, but I would then take him. Pawn's blocking me. He's going to take, which is actually good for me, so I'm going to take. Good. Made sure he didn't, I had to outbid him, make sure he didn't eliminate my pawn. If he takes with the knight, I take with the knight. It's not that great if he does that, though, but because then I could just move one step closer to my knight. Okay, so he goes with the bishop. Now I'm going to move up with the queen, giving him almost a free knight. He's going to take my knight. I'm going to duel, but I'm going to bluff it. And what is he going to do? He's going to waste 2 stones. That's excellent. Queen goes up. Nemesis, check. Okay, now I want to take that bishop. Now I'm down material. I am. And I do want that pawn, so I bid the max. Because right now that pawn is going to be really what's going to keep me in the game. You say, all right, so he's trying to get a little, a little check in there. Easy to block. The knight can go either one of those directions. I could either take it with the bishop or... Okay, so he's moving to the knight down. I'm not worrying about that yet. Because if he moves that knight in for check against me and the bishop, then I'm just going to move my king to the left on c1. I'm not going to go to e1. Nope, that would be bad. Yep. Got my rook covering the bishop if I need it. I mean, I'm not sure I need. I think that the rook really wants to get to h5 for like some double protection. But at the moment, I know it looks bad, but I'm feeling okay. Okay, so he goes for the check. I move over. I'm ready for it. He goes for the check, and now bam, look at that. Look at that. His queen is pinned unless he wants to lose his rook. Okay, that was not too bad. But he could still obviously do things. He can move his knight. Yes, he can move his knight. Yep, just like that. But you know what? I'm going to check him. And now I'm going to check him again. He's going to block. Now that pawn is pinned, which is good. I could take the... I can't take the knight. I could move the rook out, but you know what? There's a better move here. I could sack the rook and get my other rook into play. Or I could get rid of that pesky knight, try and kick him. Because getting my... yeah, okay, so he's going to take the rook. Now, there we go. There's a check. What's he going to do? He's going to try and get it. I'm going to get 1 stone just in the off chance. Nope, he calls it. Get my rook into play. He's going to check. Okay, I'm going to just sidestep it. His queen's going to come down to check me again, which is meaningless because I can just move up. But it's probably his best move. Yep, okay. And then if he does try and back up, if he tries to get... Right now my rook is really good because I can take that knight with my nemesis queen. Would that... no, I can't. With my rook, at least. Would that be useful? Yes, it would. If I get my rook in there, that would be useful. Okay. Ah. Okay. Take that. He can't take it with the pawn. Basically, I feel like that was probably a good move on his part. Okay, so now he's protecting. So I can't just take it with the pawn. But what can I do? I can move this guy up, because if I can get that on the other side, get my bishop to help, he's going to move his queen. He's going to move his queen to block my bishop. Yeah. But that doesn't matter at the moment. I want to put pressure on that knight, I think. Or do I? No, I don't. I just want to cover that pawn. Okay. Alright, so we've got ourselves a little thing here. He's close to passing over that midline, but he's not going through anytime soon. His rooks aren't really in play yet, which is good for me. Okay. Okay. So he's blocking that check. That was good, because that could have been bad for him. He could have, if I had gone to a8 with my queen, then that would have been check. He would have had to move his knight to a7. Okay, so then this happens. Sorry. Alright, queen puts me in check. Move out. Queen puts me in check again. I don't want to go north. I don't really want to block. I want to get out of the line of fire. Okay. Now the queen is blocking my rook. King moves out. Okay. Okay. The bishop has a nice line of sight now to that pawn, so I'm moving the pawn up. Boom. Okay. Now my pawn can protect my nemesis queen. Check. Push him back a little bit. Good. Get my stone. Okay. But taking that pawn. Alright, now things are scary. Yeah. That's exactly what you want to do. But now what am I going to do? I need to get rid of that knight. And pawns are going to be the way to do it. Gotta get rid of that knight. So right now he's tight. He's feeling suffocated. He's got 3 minor pieces that are not exactly out of play, but think about it. They're all protecting the king right now. They have to, which means that my minor piece disadvantage isn't too bad. Rook is pinned. Knight is okay. So here's what I'm thinking: pawn from c5. Oh no, I can't move diagonally in that direction. Okay, I'm thinking my pawn on f4 moves to e5. That's what I'm thinking. Blocking my rook, yes. However, if I can get it up to challenge that knight. Okay, so he's going to attack my rook, but I don't care, because this could be really good for me. What's your move now? Check. Okay. All right, I could move out of check. I'm going to move out of check here. He can put me in check with the queen. Check. Okay, we can sidestep. He can put me in check again, but that's okay because... Oh, look at that. Go ahead. Go to a2. Yep. Look where my bishop is. Come on, bishop. You can come on down. We're going to form a wall. Beautiful. Okay, I'm protected now. His knight's going to have to move, or he's in real serious trouble. He's going to move to d5. That knight's going to move to d5, covering, and then then a ballsy decision has to be made. Let's say hello to Claude. Okay, ballsy decision's going to have to be made. Claude's getting beat up by an animal army. All right. Okay, here's balls. Here's balls. Rook takes, losing the rook. I'll bid one just in the off chance. Now my pawn moves in. Check. That's nasty. How about this? I'm going to check you again with my nemesis queen. You're going to have to move your rook. Only move. Okay. Got to get my pawn in now. We've got to close this gap. Okay, he's sweating. He's sweating now, but he's not out. He's got a nemesis queen and he's got a rook, but the nemesis queen, for all intents and purposes, is blocked. There goes the rook check. Gonna move out of check. He can move. He could get me in check again with the rook, and I don't want to move my bishop out of the way. I don't want to give that queen any row to come across. So I'm just gonna move closer to the. I'm actually gonna move to the midline, because that's another way for victory. He could lose if I pass over that, so he'd have to then move his pawn down. And then he'd have to create a pawn wall. But that would give me just enough time to take his rook with my pawn on a7. Alright, so he's taking his time. He's got to move f8. That's the only thing he can do. f8, okay, here I go. He's got to move his pawn down to create the pawn wall, or I win. Right? Yes, I'll win if he doesn't move that pawn down. All right, take the look at that. Oh, this king is not happy. He's got one move left. He's got to put me in check. Yep. And I can't move that way. I gotta move down. Yes, gotta move down. He really doesn't have anything at this point. At this point, my pawn goes. My pawn's gonna go. Yep, here we go. Nemesis queen. Boom. What a good game. Really good game, incredibly stressful. Alright, thanks for watching.